I'm on a mission to make and release 3 games over the next year. If you missed my last devlog, I'm currently working on an idle tower defense game called Otherside. Like other tower defense games, players defend against endless waves of enemies. What makes Otherside unique is that instead of spreading a bunch of towers around the map, you only place one tower. You have to rely on a small team of heroes to defend that tower. Your job as the player is to assemble the best team of heroes possible, customizing their abilities, equips, and stats. This week, I focused on cleaning up the UI, making it more mobile-friendly by moving most of the important features to the bottom half of the screen. The game is played in portrait mode, so by moving buttons to the bottom, I made it easier for the player to reach them. The stats system is coming along nicely too. Now I have everything hooked up to modify hero stats in real time. This will come in handy when buffs and debuffs are applied in-game. I also added 2 new towers. I'm working on getting a few more done by the end of the week. Even though Otherside puts a lot of emphasis on the heroes, you can still customize your towers, increasing their range, damage, and even adding some perks. The game is really starting to come along, but now I need to focus on developing the core gameplay loop, the features and mechanics that'll bring players back every day. To do that, I've been looking back at some of my favorite games.
New card. What do you think?
Whoa.
It's very cool, Bateman, but that's nothing. Look at this.
That is really nice. You ain't seen nothing yet. White.
Impressive. Very nice. Let's see Paul Allen's card.
Maplestory is a popular Korean MMO I played a lot when I was a kid. Back in the day, it was super grindy. You had to spend a lot of time to level up, get better loot, or advance to a new job. This made every step forward feel super rewarding and kept me coming back to play the game. The gameplay loop was so good in OG Maplestory that I usually think back to it for ideas when I'm building out my own games. In Otherside, there are 3 main components to the core gameplay: game progression, hero progression, and looting. Game progression is important, but I see hero progression and looting as the mechanics that will bring my players back every day. Your hero starts as an adventurer, with no specific abilities or playstyle. Heroes level up by defeating mobs or completing quests, and when they reach level 10, you can assign them a class, which gives them new abilities. At level 30, 50, and 70, they can specialize, which just means they get new abilities and a more specific playstyle. Otherside is an idle game, so the class you pick for a hero will determine how they move around the map and battle enemies. Damage heroes will go out to attack mobs, support heroes will stay close to other heroes, and defense heroes will stay close to the tower. My goal is to give players a lot of customization with their hero team composition. They can create a team of only mages, where 2 are healers and the last is a high damage dealer, or a team with all high defense warriors that stay really close to defend the tower. This customization will be super important with some of the different maps and mobs that I have planned. The loot system in Otherside is designed to be nearly infinite. There are about 500 equips in total, most of them are weapons, but all of these items generate random stats. I gave each equip a stat table with a range of possible stats and stat values. Depending on how lucky you are, your loot will drop with certain unique features. That means you can find a bow with 6 range on your first playthrough, and then find the same bow with 12 range and an element on a later playthrough. In Maplestory, the loot table for each mob was a known thing, and that's something I wanted to replicate in Otherside. That way, if you were looking for a specific item, you could go to a map with enemies that drop it. This week, I'm going to keep cleaning up the UI and start to focus on building out the hero ability system. I have 3 hero classes currently and a bunch more planned out from the suggestions you guys gave me. With each class having more than 20 abilities, I really need to get moving. If you have any suggestions or ideas on how I could make the game better, comment them below. I'm posting these devlogs weekly, so if you're enjoying the content and want to see more Otherside updates, subscribe and hit the notification bell.